back at it again, you know, just filming a video outside in nature. There's mushrooms right next to me. But today I wanted to talk about echolalia because it's something that's like a really long word for something that's not that complicated. And because it's related, I'm also going to talk about scripting and what the heck that is. So yeah. So first of all, what is echolalia? Echolalia is basically the repetition of words or phrases. And it can be things that like have been in media, or it can also be like just random words, phrases, or actually non-word sounds can also be considered echolalia. So an example is like sometimes if I'm very stressed, I will start repeating phrases from Welcome to Night Vale. So I'll be like, good night, Night Vale, good night, which is like a very common one for me. But it can range from anything, and it's very communicative form of speech. So you're communicating something. There was a bird. But you're communicating something, so you're trying to get some point across. So something like saying good night, Night Vale, good night could be like my way of saying goodbye, or like see you later, or like leave me alone even. One that I read about online was someone said, look mom, easy breezy, beautiful cover girl, because it was windy outside, and that was their way of saying it's windy outside. And it's a way of communicating when you don't always have your own words. It's something that a lot of developmentally disabled people do, which includes autism, of course. And it's something that I see is like quite common with autistic people. Verbal stims can also sometimes be considered echolalia, if they are communicating and they're not just like, I want to make noise right now. Though echolalia, which is repetition, so specifically repetition is echolalia, and your verbal stims can technically be echolalia if you're repeating, but there's overlap, but they're not exactly the same thing. So that leads me into my second point, which is what is scripting, because scripting is like very similar to echolalia, and is in fact sort of in some ways a form of echolalia, but it's also very different. It's a separate concept altogether, and it's really important that there is that distinction, because once again there's a lot of overlap, and it is a form of echolalia, but it's different because it's specific situations a lot of times. So like I script at stores, especially because it's a very anxious environment. It's like an environment where I feel very nervous, and it's an environment where I'm not sure like how to deal with the social interaction, like especially with cashiers, because I don't know them at all, and so I like don't know what to say. So a lot of times I have like a specific set of things that I say. So I'm like, I'll say, so when I approach the cash register, and they ask me how's my day, I'll say pretty good, how about you? Even if they don't ask how my day is, I will still say pretty good, how about you? Because that's my script, that's what I say at that time. And then at the end of the interaction, when they say have a nice day, I'll say you too, thank you so much, or thank you so much, you too, depending on the situation. And if they don't say have a nice day, I will say have a nice day, thank you so much. And it's basically my way of keeping the situation sort of like, I know what I'm gonna say, you know, I know this is what's gonna happen next, and so it makes it predictable, which is something that is like, it really helps cure a lot of my anxiety, or not cure, but like calm a lot of anxiety, to like have a plan of what is going to happen, and a sort of a regular way of doing that. I know some people have a lot more scripting, so like they have scripts for every part of like any conversation, and some people don't, and it just comes down to like the person. It's one of those things that's like very personal, and it's something that a lot of people have like very different ways of doing, but it's scripting is really easy if you just break it down to script. Because if you think about what a script is, it's a plan of what you're gonna say. It's what's gonna happen. So like a play script is what is gonna happen in the play. It's what's gonna be said. It's what's gonna like what people are gonna do. And in the same way, scripting is what you're going to say and what you're going to do in a certain situation. And it alleviates a lot of anxiety, and it's generally it's typically a pretty helpful activity for those who need it. And you can use phrases from television or media as a form of scripting, but it just depends on you personally, and it's something that like comes quite naturally to people who do it. You know, it's not like something that you have to train yourself to do usually. It does take a little bit of time sometimes to develop like the habit of doing it, so like I can change my scripts, but it takes a little bit of time to change it. So like if I want to change from saying like thank you so much, have a nice day, to like thank you, you too, and I want to say that every single time, it will take a little while for me to build up the memory of doing it enough times to get comfortable doing it, which is something that some people it takes like no time at all for them to switch scripts, and some people it takes a really long time. But the biggest thing is if someone messes up my script, it is very problematic for me because I don't know what to do then. So like I might repeat parts of the script, or I might completely drop it altogether and just get flustered and confused and start speaking nonsense. So it just depends. But that's basically it for echolalia and scripting. So yeah, I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day. See you later.